Hello everyone, we're back here today to make our deviled eggs for Labor Day weekend 2024. So I want to let you guys know about a little trick that I've just started doing in the past 6 months or so, and it absolutely works. I have not had the peeling stick to my hard-boiled eggs at all. So what you do is you boil the water first, and then you're going to put in your eggs after the fact, and then let them come back to a boil. I'm not sure what the science is behind that. Maybe the little membrane starts to cook right away, and that causes the egg to let loose from the shell. I'm not really sure, but I've been doing that for about 6 months, and it absolutely works. I've never had an egg stick since then. And I eat a lot of hard-boiled eggs on salads and deviled eggs and things like that. So I've done a lot of the prep work so far because I didn't want to have to take up the whole video just peeling eggs, which it goes pretty fast anyways. So I'll show you a couple of the eggs that I did yesterday so that we'd have them ready for today. Let's get into it. Let me see if I can get you turned down a little bit farther. There we are. Okay, so that's all you do, and voila, comes right off, just like that. I saved 3 of them for us to do together, so you could see. Even my grandson can do this and doesn't get frustrated. If you're wondering what this little bucket is here, I know nowadays they have the ones you can buy in the store, which I guess they call them little composite buckets or something. I'm not really sure. But honestly, I really like to thrift, and I find these little ice buckets all the time. And I just love them for just a little trash can, little composite can, whatever you want to use it for. But please, go out to the thrift stores, and if you find an old ice bucket, they're usually vintage, and you can get you one. It comes with a lid, so you can put a lid on it. I just love it. It's just a lifesaver when you're doing prep work with cutting up vegetables and hard-boiled eggs. So let me rinse these off real quick. Then you're just going to take them and cut them in half, which I've already done most of them, and put the yolk in there. I have a little tray here already started of the shells to put the egg yolks in when they're done and ready. I was hoping that I had some bacon that I could cook in the oven and maybe put some bacon on top of the eggs. Sometimes that's kind of yummy, just to sprinkle some crunched up bacon on top of the eggs. Everybody has different ideas and puts different things in the eggs, but for me, this is just my mom's recipe that I've been making ever since I was a teenager. Okay, so I'm gonna put the lid on that. What we're gonna do is, I've already got the mayonnaise here in probably like 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise for, I think I did 10 eggs. And then we have some mustard, the mayo. And then I put like a little spoonful of Miracle Whip in it as well. Some people don't do that, they just use the mustard. But my dad, he just loved Miracle Whip, so I always kind of sneak that in there just for his taste buds. That's enough. And then we'll put in probably about a tablespoon of mustard, I'd say. And you can always just taste this as you're going along. It's no rhyme or reason, it's really just to taste. We're just going to stir that up real good. Yeah, I love to go thrifting, and if you have any ideas about things that you thrift that can be salvaged and reused, I just love those ideas. Like I said, this bucket has been one of the best things that I've done. I think that needs some more mustard. All right. I'm going to let these sit overnight, and they should be great for tomorrow. All right, so this is actually going to be my first time trying it with this little gadget here. It's used for chopping up the meats when you're frying hamburger or something, but I thought maybe it could work for the eggs. So let's try it. Well, yeah, that seems to be working just fine. I try to always use a big bowl to do this with, because if you don't use a deep bowl, it'll end up, getting all over the place and going all over your counter and stuff. So make sure that you just go ahead and get you a deep bowl to put it in. This is really just such a quick recipe. Now, when I cook the eggs, I usually let them come back to a boil, and then after that, I let them cook for 10 minutes on boiling. I set the timer, and then after that, I turn the heat off and remove them from the fire and let them sit for another 10 minutes. And then I rinse them in cool water. I don't do the whole ice bath or anything like that. I know some people say that works. If that works for you, great. But I haven't found anything that works for me except for this putting the eggs down in the boiling water. Why ever that works, I'm not sure. All right, well, I'm really happy with that. So now you can just start adding some of the mixture and stirring it up as you go, just until you get it the consistency that you like. Let's see about that. I am going to cook some more eggs later today to finish out my little tray here. So I can save this leftover mixture, if I don't use it all, to use in the other eggs. Just need about 3 or 4 more. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so we can set that aside. Now I already have a cup ready. I put a plastic baggie down in the cup. If you know that little trick. If you don't, it's a wonderful trick to do. Then you just take it and you dip your mixture into this bowl. Into the cup, into the bag. All these little tricks. I know when my daughter was little, she liked to do the putting in of the filler into the eggs. And now, of course, my little honeybee Christian, he likes to do that now. So he's not here today, or I'd let him do it. Alrighty. So now we can just take this off of here and get out as much air as you can out of it. There we go. And then I just kind of squeeze it down to one corner. And then I have scissors here, so you can just clip that off. And then we can start filling the eggs. Let me show you what that looks like, okay? Hopefully you can see that. Let me just turn this down a little bit more if I don't knock you off here. Maybe that will help. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, so here we have the eggs. And we're just going to start squeezing in a little bit as we go. It goes really fast like this. I know some people probably have fancier bags to use, but this seems to work fine for me. Yeah. That's working out real good. I'd love to hear about what you're doing this Labor Day weekend. Actually, it's kind of been rainy here on the East Coast the whole weekend. We got those storms that came through, and just seems like it made it even more muggier to me, but I could be wrong. I just don't like the humidity. I would just like Maybe Arizona is a great place to live where there's no humidity, but everybody does say it gets real hot out there. It just seems like it would be a little bit cooler. I'm just going back and refilling some if I have any left over, which I do have a little bit. All right. Okay, so we're done with that part. Now all we have to do is take a little bit of paprika. I have paprika here, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on top of each one of them. Again, that's preference. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't have to put it on there. My daughter, she never liked the paprika, so I would always leave like 3 or 4 for her off without it. But now she does like it, so I guess it's just an acquired taste. Kind of makes them look a little bit pretty too. Okay, so there we are, all done. Now another thing I like to do, and this is, you know, a little bit fancy, but why not? I like to serve them on a 3-tiered stand. So you can just take them and put them on your 3-tiered stand. I'll take the plate down and it'll be easier. I mean, why be simple when you can be fancy? It always adds a little bit of extra something to the party. Anything on a tiered stand just looks pretty. That might just be coming from my days as entertaining with my girlfriends. I mean, we just liked everything a little bit fancy. Why not? Yeah, this is going to look nice. That little piece came off. Got enough for one more on each tray. So, add one more on each tray, and that's going to look delicious. Not to mention really pretty. So there we are. Got our eggs on the 3-tiered stand. Let me move some of this stuff. Maybe it'll stand out a little bit better. Okay. So there we are. Isn't that nice? Okay, so I'm going to show you, I have some water boiling over here. Let's see how that looks right there on the 3-tiered stand. I have some water boiling over here. I'm going to show you how I put the eggs down in it, because you have to be really careful that you don't get burned. Hope you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay, so here goes in the egg. And like again I said, this is a great hack. I don't really know the science behind why it works, but it just does. And then I'll just let that come back to a boil and set the timer for 10 minutes when it does.